50 millimeter is a normal or a standard lens which generally used to come with the camera as a kit lens. Lately, since the development of zoom lenses, it's been replaced by zoom lenses, which you get now with a camera as a kit lens. 50 mm is a focal length which is equivalent to the diagonal of the film format. So it doesn't mean that 50 millimeter will be a standard lens or a normal lens for all the film formats. For a medium format camera, 50 mm lens could be a wide angle lens. Here we are talking about 50 millimeter for a full frame 5D or 5D Mark III, a full frame camera. So 50 millimeter is has an excellent optical quality. It's one of the lenses which you should always have, even if you have a 50 millimeter included in your zoom lens. Let's say if you have a 24-105 mm lens, but still carrying a 50 millimeter lens is worthwhile because it's very lightweighted. It's got a more opened aperture. It's got 1.4 or 1.8 depending upon the lens which you're buying, compared to an f4 of your regular zoom lens. The other advantage of using a 50 millimeter lens is that you can use it very well in low light conditions because it's got an opened aperture. It's lightweighted, so you do not really need a very higher shutter speed for the purpose of camera shake. You can manage to get a steady shot even with a relatively slower shutter speeds. Since the angle of view of a 50 millimeter lens is equivalent to the human eye, it takes a little bit of understanding of how you should actually be using it. Let's say if you've closed down the aperture and if you're using a lower angle, you may exaggerate the perspective just the way you do it with a wide angle lens. On the other hand, if you open up the aperture, you maintain a distance and you can use it the same way as you would use a long focal length lens. You can get the same results, a nice out of focus background. So it's a winning combination between the distance, perspective and the background blur when you're using a 50 millimeter lens.